You know, every once in a while, you just need that moment just to relax, sit down, regather your thoughts. And so today, we're going to do that right about now. We're going to do that with Together We're Stranger. We're listening to the next track on No Man, where we left off after Blue Coda, which was not really part of the official track listing, but, you know, we'll take it as it is. And we're going to move on to the next track, which is Photographs in Black and White. A little monochromatic color scheme going on here. My headphones are stuck here on the chair. Hope you guys are having a good one. It's a rainy, cloudy day today. I don't know if my weather thing popped up yet, but it's a cloudy, dreary kind of day. And listen, it's a perfect day for a cup of coffee and some No Man based off of what we heard before. So let's go ahead and dive on into it. We'll talk about it a little bit after. Photographs in Black and White. Hey. That kind of matches, huh? Let's go. It's hot. Oh. Photographs of like either old friends or family based on the lyrics. There's that little change that makes an impact. That's it. Probably in the back. It's way back there. So you'll never see us sinking. They love you when you think that no one can. The background ambience cadence has built itself so calmly. It's barely noticeable how it came up to this point.
They love you, and they tell you that they understand. They love you, then they say you're much too bland.
See, like all of a sudden it's noticeable. Love that. Especially with the change in the guitar riff. That kind of, it comes across very striking. Oh, there's a change. I like that. This is like a sad, wintry kind of melody, huh? Because it kind of sounds holiday-ish. Do it again. Oh. Unexpected, but I like it. What a thunderous amplification there. And all these little sparks of guitar that pop out, crying. That's a Hans Zimmer kind of. I like how it started coming in a little earlier. It's such a bite to it. It's such a crunch. I like the static, that white noise that's in the back as well. Sudden stop and the tape runs out. Let me just catch the transition real quick.
Singing song.
I was hoping for a sudden stop and start into something completely new. Greeted by the melodies of some keys. Okay. Photographs in Black and White is a track in 3 parts. I was originally going to say 2 as we were moving in, but then it changed again and we got 3 parts. The first part, a lot of singing involved. It's like a dream folk kind of sound, a dreamy acoustic kind of sound. Getting a lot of Tim on this one, and it sounds great. It's nice. I like how calm it is, how relaxed it is. There's so many like tendrils of atmosphere being built up via feedback and keys or key-based instruments and guitars, of course. There's just so many scatterings of sounds underneath everything that little by little, just as the grass grows really slowly, that begin to make itself more apparent, and before you know it, or more apparent, and before you know it, you're in a field full of grass. You caught on to the metaphor. Okay. I love that. I think that was wonderful. Then the music changes pretty immediately. Let me pull up the song again. Right? This is nice. It's calm. It's relaxing. It's slow. This is, to me, getting up in the morning. Then you have the clarinet coming in, and it's just gorgeous. I think it's a wonderful sound, and I like how it's used sparingly throughout this album so far. But in this track, it makes a great appearance, and it's a great feature. I think I mentioned before, but that's going to be performed by Ben Castle. Absolutely fantastic. However, almost exactly after 5 minutes, the music changes. Okay, right there. So before we get into the next change, just moving in, that little section that the music brings in, to add something so mellow, just as what preceded it, but now striking. The guitar, that bum, 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 or whatever the notes were alongside the clarinet playing, it just adds a little bit of drama, a little bit of spice into music. So moving away from something calming and soothing into something with a little bit more, right, like a little more bite to it. That section we just moved into. This is a great new environment for the music to take place in. To me, it sounds kind of wintry. It sounds kind of depressed. It sounds like... This is what it sounds like to me. Just take that instrumental section. It sounds to me like you see a gentleman in a trench coat in a wintry city. Snow is falling. The cars are passing by. It's getting towards nighttime. And he looks through a window of a store. And he sees a kid in there, like playing with a toy that's in a package that, of course, the kid wants to buy. The kid lifts it up to his mom. The mom says, okay, that's what we'll buy for you. And the guy outside is like looking with a sad face. And then as he's watching the mom and the child with the toy, another man enters the picture and hugs them both. That man outside is the father, and he's watching his family. What happened? Who knows what the drama is in there? Who knows what the chisme is in there? But it's hot. And he's just outside sad in this wintry scene. That's what this music sounds like to me. Right? That's the kind of cinema that I'm seeing with it. Now, I was going to say, when the clarinet enters during that specific section... Oh, it's so deep, right? When it's playing in here... I didn't want to go that far. But when it's playing in that section, I was going to say that it could have stayed in there for the remainder of the 4 minutes or so of the track. I was going to say I'm happy here. I was literally about to say it. And then that first Hans Zimmer, Christopher Nolan, boom, came in with this immediately devastating, I'm assuming it's guitar making that sound. I'm assuming. It's just... I meant to pull it up again. Whatever, it's in there somewhere. Anyways, it's this just devastating, reverberating sound that comes in and actually shakes up the atmosphere and the scenery of this track. And even though it shakes it up, it still retains a certain ambience to it. It's almost like for just a brief moment when that guitar riff comes in, it becomes a more post-rock kind of sound. perhaps even treading towards, in its heaviness, a post-metal kind of sound. Ever so briefly. It's not really expanded upon at that point, but it does bring a different kind of nature to the table. And I think that that is sensational how that's done. And then, once again, the tendrils of everything kind of being built underneath that, which you clearly hear as you move further into the track. And then eventually ending with kind of the same way we began. Just as an acoustic, that white noise kind of staticky sound underneath it, and then a sharp and sudden stop at your station. That's a really, really wonderfully built track, and that's, to me, very enjoyable to listen to. The city in 100 ways it wouldn't let you stay. Remember all the thankless days and the lousy take-home pay. With all the references between tracks, in the lyrics and such, I would imagine that maybe not necessarily literally this is a concept album, but at least thematically, in a very thoughtful way, there is a connection between the tracks. The photographs in black and white that show you play close to type. I'm sorry, did I read that right? That show you playing close to type. Your eyes against the midday light, your eyes win, they still had the fights. They loved you when you thought no one could. They loved you when you said that no one should. You talk so fast to stop yourself from thinking. You move so fast that you'll never see you're sinking. They love you when you think no one can. And they'll tell you that they understand. They love you. Then they say you're too much too bland. Well, I don't know who or what he's speaking about. It's someone that's loved by an audience of sorts or by people, even though the subject that he's talking about feels like they don't deserve that love. They're a fast mover, they're a fast talker, and they keep on moving, they keep on doing this, as it says here, so that they don't sink. I think of someone who maybe is going through some things inside and internally, but on the outside, they're putting out that facade like that everything's completely fine. They're the life of the party, but inside it's a dead man's party. That's an Oingo Boingo reference for you.
Yes, clap.
Spending days on the phone while the cold eats your bones. How in the world do you make it right? How in the world do you make a life? Spending days on the phone while the cold eats your bones. I actually think that kind of sums up what I just meant. Spending days on the phone, talking to people, having conversations, talking to your friends, talking with the girlfriends, you're just on the phone, but inside, as it says, while the cold eats your bones. Photographs in black and white. A photograph. In a photograph, you see a frozen sliver of time in someone's life or in some capacity of anything. But what was actually the story behind the photograph? What was the subject of the photograph feeling at the time of the photograph? Most photographs, people smile. A smile may be the facade, but once again, what's happening? What's the emotion beneath the photograph in the real life time that it was taken and for that person? Which kind of ties into everything I just said. Honestly, I think one of my best lyrical breakdowns. I'm just throwing it out there. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Follow me, of course, on Twitter. Support the channel if you want on Patreon. Thank you, as always, for being here. I appreciate you watching, stopping by. Come back tomorrow. I got something else for you. I don't know what it is, but I got something else for you. Have a wonderful one. I'll see you all later. Bye. And now my coffee's cold. That's good.